Hello, it's now time to write next academic year's attendance roadmap. In this video, I will give you some tips and also things to avoid, however tempting they may be to save time. Any questions? Please get back to me. I hope you find this video helpful in your strategic planning for attendance for next year. As this academic year closes, now is the moment to reset your attendance strategy for next year. Treat the attendance roadmap as an appendix to your school improvement plan and as the core document for tracking progress across the year. The goal isn't more activity. It's sharper action, focused on the right pupils at the right time. Don't roll last year's plan forward. Simply updating dates may feel efficient, but it also carries forward the same assumptions, actions, and gaps into your plan for next year. Use Term 6 as a strategic window to evaluate what's worked, identify where practice needs to improve, and strengthen the roadmap as an appendix to the school improvement plan. That way, you start September with a sharper plan that's built for next year, not copied from the last one. Use your roadmap as an evaluation tool, not just a record of good intentions. Every action in the plan reflects a strategic choice, and Term 6 is the point to test whether those choices were implemented well, reached the right pupils and families, and improved attendance. Keep what delivered impact, strip out what became compliance, and make sure the roadmap remains the key document for tracking attendance progress into 2027. Before you write the new roadmap, step back and pressure test your strategy with 5 questions. What worked, and what evidence proves it? What didn't work, despite time and resource? What had the biggest impact and deserves greater weight next year? Where did effort outweigh return, and which pupils and families still need the most focused support? Those 5 questions will sharpen the quality of every decision that follows. The roadmap for 2026 and 2027 should be treated as a reset year, not a continuation year. Schools have invested heavily in attendance, but effort alone doesn't guarantee impact, and strategies built for an earlier context may no longer fit the reality you're facing now. A reset within the wider school improvement plan means evaluating what's worked, refining what needs to change, and rebuilding around the attendance picture in front of you. That's not a sign of failure, it's what strategic improvement looks like. Your 2026-27 attendance roadmap should be built around 6 evidence-informed pillars. These aren't just headings, they are the strategic architecture of the attendance roadmap appendix within the school improvement plan, and they reflect the areas most likely to drive sustained improvement. The 6 pillars are interconnected, so strength in one supports progress in another. Use them to evaluate 2025-26 clearly and to set your priorities for the year ahead with greater precision. The first pillar is understanding pupils and families. Strong attendance strategy starts with a real picture of lived experience, not just headline absence data. You need to understand the barriers families are navigating, the communities you're serving, who feels connected to school and who doesn't yet. That insight often comes through purposeful conversation, not just systems and spreadsheets. If you want better attendance outcomes, this is foundational work, not an optional pastoral extra. The second pillar is belonging. When pupils feel connected to school, attendance becomes more secure. When that sense of connection is weak, even smaller barriers can tip the balance the other way. So look closely at 4 drivers: peer relationships, meaningful curriculum engagement, and the presence of trusted adults who know pupils well. If you want attendance to improve sustainably, belonging has to be designed into the everyday experience of school. The third pillar is communication with parents and carers. Communication should do far more than report absence. It should build trust, confidence, and partnership. The strongest approach is warm, proactive, two-way, and consistent. It reaches families early, listens carefully, and makes engagement easier, not harder. When communication is strategic in that way, it becomes a real driver of attendance improvement, not just an administrative process. The fourth pillar is universal provision, and this is the bedrock of attendance improvement. Before you add targeted intervention, make sure the everyday experience of school is strong enough to support attendance for the vast majority of pupils. That means high-quality teaching, safe and predictable environments, strong well-being provision, and practical support that removes barriers for families. If universal provision is weak, attendance strategy will always be working uphill. The fifth pillar is forensic data analysis. Attendance data should do more than satisfy reporting requirements. It should help you spot patterns early, identify pupils whose attendance is slipping, and target action with precision. That means using bandings, tracking movement over time, analyzing trends across key groups, and linking interventions to measurable change. The shift for 2026-27 is clear. Move from compliance reporting to analysis that drives action. The sixth pillar is targeted intervention. Even with strong universal provision, some pupils will need more personalized support. The key is to target precisely, match support to the actual barrier, and review impact with discipline. Don't spread resources too thinly or rely on standard responses for complex situations. The strongest plans identify the right pupils, tailor intervention carefully, and stop or adapt approaches that aren't moving attendance. Attendance strategy can't stand still because the context has changed. What worked in the immediate post-pandemic period isn't enough for the level of complexity schools are dealing with now. That's why the roadmap must stay central. It is the key document for charting progress through 2026-27. Use it to evaluate what still works, adapt where the challenge has shifted, and keep your strategy aligned to the real attendance picture in your school. Use a disciplined three-step process for building the 2026-27 roadmap. First, evaluate the 2025-26 plan against real evidence. Next, refine by keeping what worked, improving what has potential, and removing what added effort without impact. Then rebuild the roadmap from the evidence up, so it sits within the school improvement plan as a sharper, more strategic document for the year ahead. Start building the 2026-27 roadmap now, while the Term 6 planning window is still open. Evaluate the current plan, map actions against the 6 pillars, and use that evidence to shape a stronger version for next year. Position it as an appendix to the school improvement plan, launch it with clarity in September, and use it as the key document for charting attendance progress across 2026-27. The strongest schools won't wait, they'll build now. Please email your new attendance roadmap for 26-27 by August the 31st, 2026.